Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about a display in the Iowa State Capitol and what occurred there and what it has to do with an after school club that is forming in Tennessee and what we can expect the likely outcome to be from all of this. Because it all does tie together. So we will start in Iowa. The devil went down to Iowa, basically. So the Satanic Temple put up a permitted religious display in the Capitol there. Obviously, it drew a lot of attention. A lot of politicians got upset, religious leaders, so on and so forth. The reason the temple was able to do this is because they allow other religious groups to do the same thing. So I believe the display was set to be taken down, I want to say on Friday. But it was vandalized by somebody from Mississippi who was charged with criminal mischief in the 4th degree. That person is probably very lucky. Very lucky. Because this is something that could easily be construed as attempting to deprive someone of their rights. So you have that going on. And at the same time, the After School Satan Club, which is a national nonprofit that I believe is linked to the Satanic Temple, they are forming one of those clubs at an elementary school in the Memphis-Shelby area in Tennessee. It is worth noting that the interim superintendent there said, "I do not support the beliefs of this organization at the center of recent headlines. I do, however, support the law." And it's worth noting that the temple has said that, quote, does not believe in introducing religion into public schools and will only open a club if other religious groups are operating on campus. The fact that this organization doesn't actually worship the devil, it hasn't really calmed the rhetoric and fear coming from religious leaders in the area. Now, this type of thing has happened in the past. What generally occurs is right-wing politicians start screaming about religious freedom. They open up state institutions or county institutions to religious groups or for religious displays. But when they're talking about it, they really only mean their religion. That's not how it works in this country. If you open the door, well, all religions get to walk through. That's why that hedge between the church and state and all of that, that's why that's been around so long. What generally happens from here, I don't know if it's generally, oftentimes, the rules are changed and religious organizations are no longer allowed to use state or county facilities or funds. In this case, I mean, it seems like there might be people at both of these locations who understand that this is a form of protest. And that may not occur here. It may be one of those things where these organizations exist. The club gets set up and it runs for a while and it proves its point, but nothing really changes because it is Tennessee. The alternative to that is the right wing just loses its mind because it can't take a joke, and they end up curtailing the very laws that they put into place in the first place. There's a reason that separation exists. It's not to curtail somebody's religious beliefs. If you actually believe something, you believe it. It's internal. You don't have to display it. The desire to try to convert people on state property or whatever, or to signal your allegiance to a particular voting block, which is oftentimes what it really is, it tends to just lead to issues. And what often happens is it undermines the idea of religious freedom. Because what occurs is this group, they fight and they say, well, we want to have our Bible study at this school, and eventually the law gets passed. And then other groups come in and they get mad about that, or they start screaming about yoga or something like that. And then it gets repealed. And when it gets repealed, it goes through this period where you can't even talk about it at school. For people who love to talk about how much they support the founding principles of this country, it's important to remember that this country was set up to be a country that was not theocratic. And that principle, it served the country pretty well for a long time. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.